Hey guys, welcome to another episode of MahjongTalk. I'm your host Peter Vaughn. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of my latest videos. Okay, so let's just get started. Alright, so let's get into the game here. So, what I want to talk to you guys about is basically, I guess it's everything that everybody says is basically it's okay not to be okay. And it's true because the thing of it is that life throws you a lot of fastballs. This is my second time recording actually, because my dad wanted my help with something, so he just came in. So I had to stop the video because I just had to help my dad out. So the reason I'm telling you guys this is because things like life basically throws you a lot of stuff and you don't expect it, and sometimes it gets really annoying when something just comes in unexpectedly. And there are some things that are not very annoying. They're very tragic, like the loss of a loved one, or someone is sent to the hospital or something like that. When I was streaming yesterday, one of my friends was telling me that one of the family members is in the hospital, and I really feel for that person because we I don't know what's going on on their side of the world, and it's really it's really stressful to deal with stuff that just happens out of nowhere. But also the thing of it is that your emotions can be the same way. Your emotions can basically trigger a certain response and a certain emotion. For instance, let's say you woke up one morning, let's say last night you went to sleep looking forward to the next day. You were so pumped, you have some plans and you basically are so pumped for it. But then when you wake up the next day, you start to feel a little bit off, and you don't know why you feel off, and now you just feel oh, I don't want to go out anywhere. I don't feel like I want to do that much, and you don't know why you have that type of feeling. And it could be very overwhelming because sometimes moods can come in and out, and if it's anything involved with depression or anything, see a specialist if you can, that sort of thing, because I'm not a medical professional or anything like that, but mental health is very important. And some people go through the ins and outs of dealing with certain emotional imbalances. But sometimes you just you just feel you're just in a mood, and you feel and sometimes you don't know why. And those moods can be it could be a major inconvenience, but also it could be something that makes you enlightened to something, such as you end up asking why you feel this way, and you try to navigate a way to get out of it. But as you navigate your way out of it, your mind gets a little bit creative and try to either throw the negative parts of your past in front of you, up to your face, or it allows you to reflect on those negative thoughts in a way that makes you link up your current state to the other emotional states that you felt in the past. And sometimes it could be overwhelming because you have to face certain things in your past that you didn't really think that you had to dealt with, and it could be very triggering at times. Sometimes for me, I wonder if I'm too much in my comfort zone all the time, and whenever I get into a certain mood, I feel as if what can I do to improve myself today? And sometimes sometimes I just basically do the stuff that allows me to disconnect from major things, social media, basically disconnect from social media, or disconnect from negative thoughts that I'm putting in my head because of a negative voice, saying that, oh, why am I so incompetent, why am I so selfish, why am I X, Y, and Z, all that stuff. And it can be quite paralyzing to actually face the shadow, the inner shadow of yourself, because your shadow is the one that's basically telling you either the things that you can't do or the things that you should not even do because of your experience in the past. And it's the brain basically trying to protect you from getting hurt. And the thing of it is that I I got out of my comfort zone like a little bit, like little in small ways. It's not like I can't do it. It's just that, like, it, like, getting out of your comfort zone is like very scary because you don't know exactly what will happen, and you don't know if it's going to cause more, like, it's going to cause a traumatic experience for you, like, either being humiliated, or either like just going through some kind of like rigmarole that you never really felt like you shouldn't have gotten into in the first place. And that's really hard to do. That's really hard to do because it's really hard to actually be able to like reflect on yourself and then think about what is it that I need to do to make myself a better person. But that also stems from like the common things such as you have a desire, but you also have a fear. And the thing of it is that the fear is preventing you from getting your desire, but at the same time that fear also created a misbelief within you to actually make you feel as if like maybe my desire isn't worth going for because of this feeling, like because of this feeling of fear I have. And that's really hard to deal with. It's really hard to deal with because it happens to all major characters in literature as well as in movies. They have this desire, but it's also paralyzed by fear. So their fear is preventing them from getting their desire, and it creates a misbelief within themselves, whether it be about them or whether it be about the world that they live in. So, for instance, let's say you want to be successful, but based on your experiences, you basically work like odd jobs and you never worked an office job in your life, aka me. You have this paralyzing fear that you're not going to live up to like the office job culture, or you just fear actually just like not being successful without having to take that route because of the innate experience that I've had. I fear that like I lack experience within like moving up in to be successful in the traditional sense, but that doesn't mean I can't be successful in the non-traditional sense. The thing of it is that I just have to get creative. So the misbelief part is basically my misbelief is that just because I don't have these experiences, that means I'm not going to be successful. I think I'm going to pick that, yeah. And the thing of it is that we all do this all the time. It's not just one thing. Like, like for me, it's like, social skills. Like I have this misbelief that I don't have that much social skills. And because I don't have much social skills, then I'm not going to be able to like, get married, have kids, and like, go on a date with someone that I find attractive, who is my type, and I won't be able to get married and have kids. Like, that's also another misbelief. Doesn't mean it's true, but at the same time, based on my own beliefs, I made it true. So, it's those type of things. Let's try this. We'll see what happens with this. And the thing of it is, like, life is all about just basically trying new things, but also it's about like try to break nasty habits that basically kind of held you back. And it doesn't have to be like the habits like eating too much. I mean, it could be, but I'm talking about like the nasty habits that you do inside your brain, because usually those habits are the hardest ones to crack. And it usually starts when you're not feeling okay. And when you're not feeling okay, you try to figure out a way how to get out of it. But at the same time, like, how many of us actually like let ourselves feel that way? Like let ourselves feel that emotion, even if it just comes out of nowhere. Like, if we let ourselves feel that emotion, what does it lead us to? And I think the reason why people don't want to like lead into that emotion is because it allows them. They fear that they're going to go into a depressive state and they're not going to be able to get out of it. But at the same time, sometimes like going into it, like if you like have depression or anything like that, I would say like see a specialist. Because like I'm not an expert on that or anything like that, but at the same time, like if you like have depression or anything like that, yeah, like definitely see a therapist and like see someone that can help you. But if you don't have that, Like, you know, like say if it's just the spur of a moment and you're just feeling this negative emotion, um, it's okay to actually let yourself feel that. Like, you know, you can basically sit in an empty room with your thoughts and listen to sad music and let yourself let yourself feel those emotions, because it's not really negative talk. It's more like allowing yourself to be soothed in the emotion, because usually with us as people, we don't want to be in the negative emotions because we fear that it will lead us not only into a depressive state, but also it will make us feel as if we need somebody, like as if we need like like we're afraid that we're going to latch onto somebody because we are in this state. Like we're afraid of being clingy to a person because I'm sad, I need to talk to someone about it. And you should talk to someone about, like, you know, any negative emotion you're feeling. And you know, that's why the internet like has become so big, is because a lot of people face these types of problems, and they start talking to people like on, you know, forums or Discord or like, you know, social media outlets to see what they get their take on it. And you know, it's not easy to open up at times, especially to like someone face to face. And you know, with the internet, it hasn't gotten easier for us to actually socialize face to face, because we're so used to like looking at someone from a computer screen, or you know, like seeing someone as a text messages rather than seeing their eyes and their mouth and their face, just basically reacting to what we're telling them. So the thing is that why is it okay to not to be okay? It's okay not to be okay because it's like basically you're getting the negative emotion out already, so you don't have to worry about dealing with it later. But sometimes it does come back because there's some negative things in yourself that you probably haven't dealt with, or you haven't kind of soothed yourself out of. And probably that's mainly the reason why you're kind of like trying to get back on track to thinking more positively. And you know, I get into those things too. I get into those states too, and everybody does. The thing of it is that we're so trapped in our own head. We feel like everybody has a good hold on things, when in fact we probably don't have as good a hold as we think we do. Which is not a bad thing. It's just something that happens. And you know, it's all about just like taking a step back and trying to think about exactly what is it that we need to do to, you know, navigate these negative emotions. So I wouldn't say ignore the negative emotions. I would say try to navigate through them, because when you navigate through them, and if it's harder, if it gets really hard, like you feel like you're in the trenches and you feel like you can't get out, that's when you actually talk to somebody. And you know, like navigating through your negative emotions, it really allows you to see things in clarity. It allows you to get clarity on a lot of things, because it makes you be aware of what triggers you, and what triggers you can tell you a lot about yourself. Because for example, what triggers me is that I get triggered whenever I tell someone something that's really exciting to me, but then they make a joke out of it, and it basically goes off the rails for me, because then like the excitement I have for a particular thing kind of goes downhill, and I feel like, oh, why they had to ruin it for me, you know, that sort of thing. Another thing is that when I try to be very serious about something, when I try to explain stuff to you guys, you know, like if I'm like being serious, and I'm just talking to a camera right now, but if I'm talking to someone face to face and they just make a joke of something that I felt very passionate about, and like kind of giving a little bit of serious like a seriousness to the explanation I'm giving, and they just make a joke out of it, I kind of get a little bit triggered, because I feel like they didn't listen to what I said, or they listened to it but they basically just wanted to say a joke out of it. It's like, oh, that's funny because like, you know, X, Y, and Z. And I kind of don't like it when people like make a joke out of something when I'm trying to like explain something, because it's something that I take very like I value my opinions a lot, but at the same time I try to keep myself open to make sure that my opinions don't like fester into something that is a misbelief on my part, because I know I'm not right all the time, so I try to like take a step back and try to say things that that is open to like everybody, so they can basically understand what I'm talking about. And also, like, I don't talk out loud as much, like with my opinions and emotions. So like when I try to be like try to explain my case, like whether it be like something stressful I'm going through, or whether it be, um or whether it be something serious, like, like trying to help soothe somebody. I really don't like it when people make a joke out of it, and then basically, like, they try to diffuse the situation instead of just like letting the situation go on. But I think that's another reason why, like, some people say the wrong things at the wrong time because they don't want to get into that negative state, because they probably haven't dealt with that negative emotion themselves. And like, that's why you have so many different people making so many different like different remarks on a situation, and sometimes that can misunderstand into bigger things that trigger people. So for instance, if someone was basically saying their emotions to you, and like one of your friends next to you, basically they don't want to see them depressed, but they basically can't think of anything else to say other than a joke, and they thought that maybe the joke will probably allow them to like kind of like crack a smile a bit. But then they realized that the joke that they said basically kind of erupted into a bad argument. And like, when you're friends with somebody, you don't want to see them sad, and some people just don't want to see people sad. But at the same time, like, in trying to prevent the sadness in one individual, you began to, like, sometimes people do things or say things that are probably not appropriate for that person in that situation, which is why I kind of go on with I try to basically treat people the way they want to be treated. I don't treat people the way I want to be treated, because everyone has a different preference on how they want to be treated in life. And it's hard to engage with that when you just know them on a first like when you just met them. So you basically just interact with them more, and you basically try to engage on how they want to be treated, because you begin to, but you also have to do like those small little tidbits where you joke around a bit and you see their reaction. And if they don't if they don't feel like they're in a joking mood, you can tell by their reaction, and then you can see that that's not the way they want to do it, like how they want to be in a relationship with somebody else, whether it be a friendship or whether it be like another something deeper. Nice. Okay, so I think we're going into like another round, because nobody has 30,000 now. Okay, there we go. I was about to say, why is it taking so long? But in all fairness, like, we as people will all make like mistakes, especially social mistakes, like mistakes with people. And the thing of it is that sometimes we just don't want to see the people that we care about being sad. And the thing is that there will be times when they come to us whenever they're feeling sad or whenever they're feeling depressed. And the thing of it is that you will also be in that state where you're basically dealing with emotions that you didn't want to deal with in the first place. But the biggest question is that how can you navigate it, and why is it that that emotion causes you so much turmoil within yourself? And sometimes those questions are not easy to answer. Sometimes it takes a little time to actually like navigate within yourself and search in yourself. And with society nowadays, we always are constantly working. We're always on our phones. We're always on something to take us away from whatever triggers us and whatever makes us insecure, or what makes us feel as if we're insignificant. And we don't want to be in that state of insignificance where we feel like we're so small and that we can't possibly get out of the state that we're in, because of either our own internal monologue of being weak, or whether it be everybody else is telling us that we're this one thing, whether it be negative or positive, it doesn't matter. So the thing of it is that, like, the point I want you guys to take away from is that when you feel those states of like being in a negative emotion, it could, whether it be like randomly or something that happened like a stressful moment that triggered you, I would have to say being able to navigate through it is the first step, at least from what I've experienced. And let that navigation let you wander. And if it leads you to a much darker place, that's when you actually talk to somebody. But if it leads you into a place where you feel like you can have an epiphany, see where it goes and see where actually that state will allow you to kind of like be okay with that emotion. The point is that not to make the emotion go away. The point is to basically let the emotion tell you stuff about yourself that you can heal from. Because emotions have a way of enlightening us to bigger things. Okay, so guess that's it. I lost out in the end, but you know, that's how the game goes sometimes. Okay, I think I'm gonna go back to my main screen here. Okay, cool. Alright guys, I hope you like what you saw. If you like what you saw, consider hitting a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of my latest videos. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And if you want to engage a game with me or any of my friends, or you know, join us on the Twitch live streams, you can basically engage with us on the Newbridge Discord server, which is also in the description down below. And also, if you want to catch the Twitch live streams, I stream from Monday to Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also Saturday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so I think that's about it. And as I always say, guys, everyone is precious. You guys are just as precious as everyone else. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.